Laura bought an abandoned bungalow just 5 weeks ago at auction. Because who doesn't dream of adopting a building that's been socially distancing for 16 years? Let's take a moment to marvel at what she and her squad of retired silver foxes and celebrity status goats have heroically accomplished over a few casual weekends. Naturally, they started with the garden, or rather, the jungle, with visibility at 0. Laura had no idea she'd discover 2 large concrete ponds and eventually unearthed the front door under roughly 6 tons of ivy. Sadly, none of the 43 mysterious keys she's found since actually fit it. But hey, a decorative ivy-covered front doors are very in right now. Shout out to Gary and Brian, the goats, who not only devoured the brambles like it was brunch at the Ritz, but also provided natural fertilizer. They're truly the landscaping dream team, and just one of Laura's fantastic ideas. Then there was the kitchen cleanse. A room so untouched it could have been a time capsule, complete with apocalypse-proof tea bags and a generous sprinkle of rat droppings. Very biohazard chic. Laura then dove headfirst into the noble art of endless removal: furniture, plasterboard, wallpaper, and of course, ivy. So much ivy. Honestly, if you see anything dangling from the ceiling, don't panic. It is not electrical, it's probably just another ivy vine, auditioning for a part in Jumanji. At some point, Laura, the very confused pigeon, and grabbed a chainsaw and gave it a go. Soon after, the power tools came out. Chimneys came down. If it stood still long enough, it got the sledgehammer treatment. All the ceilings are gone. She's invented a new eco-friendly AC system called open-aired roofing. And as if all that wasn't enough, yesterday Laura really decided to crank up the chaos and rented a digger. Because, when in doubt, dig your way out. Laura has some serious explaining to do. She lured us all in by showing us this abandoned property she had bought, gained lots of new friends, then fully ghosted everyone for 3 weeks, like a bad Tinder date. No explanation, just vanished. Very out of character, actually, but I don't think she is drowning in free time, if I'm honest. I mean, after all, she is working full-time, renovating an abandoned house as the foreman, project manager, quantity surveyor, and interior designer. Why hire professionals when you may end up having an existential crisis instead? Think of the savings. Oh, and she has casually started filming to be part of a Channel 4 primetime TV series with the fabulous Sarah Beeny. It's at this stage Laura has got absolutely no idea what is going on anymore. But in her true fashion, fake it until you make it. Now, as dramatic as Laura is, being filmed is surprisingly unnatural for her. I mean, imagine a clumsy panda filled with caffeine crossed with a hyper-Springer Spaniel being told instructions. That's Laura on camera. There's a reason she hides behind a voiceover and talks about herself in the third person. She's more of a don't do things to impress anyone but yourself kind of person. But this is important. Laura is genuinely grateful to everyone who's messaged, checked in, or wondered if she'd fallen through the roof. She's alive, slightly feral, but up and fighting, and glad you're here to join the madness. Let's catch up on the last 3 weekends of the chaos at the abandoned bungalow. You know, the one we got ghosted from, but it's fine. We've chosen forgiveness for our overcommitted redhead. So, alongside working full-time and doing everything but resting, Laura has started filming for an exciting TV series with Sarah Beeny. Though I do have concerns. Asking Laura to film a calm, educational renovation video may be like asking a toddler to host evening news. Expect chaos. In true escalation style, she went from her adorable mini digger to renting a 3-ton digger and dumper. When I heard her say, "How hard can it be?" I felt a nervous shiver. The last time she got behind one of those things, the house received what she called a little love tap. Imagine this time. Well, this time she had to remove the whole garage to get them in. No big issue. Honestly, the garage was clinging to life by 2 rotten beams and a rusty metal door, so it didn't exactly put up a fight. One dramatic sigh, and it practically collapsed in surrender. Of course, because Laura is part renovator, part magpie, she decided to keep the cute front tiles. Why? Nobody knows. Maybe she turned them into a whimsical greenhouse roof, or a necklace. Anything's possible in her world. Now, before you judge her techniques, they may not scream qualified tradesperson, but remember, this is the same woman who balances her old Samsung on a broken brick to film herself knocking down walls. We're lucky if the camera is facing the right direction. In one chaotic day, Laura and her band of genetically related volunteers moved 75 tons of soil and concrete. These guys looked alarmingly competent, although the project manager was clearly there to have fun, make memories, and get shit done. Laura's heavy machinery addiction started, as all love stories do, with a harmless mini-digger. Her debut performance was truly something. The fact she managed to only give the abandoned bungalow a gentle love tap was miraculous. Naturally, in true Laura fashion, things escalated quickly. Fast forward a few weekends, and in come a 3-ton digger and a dumper, thanks to the wonderful team at Trent Plant Hire. With a sparkle in her eye and a distinct lack of professional training, Laura and her crew dove headfirst into removing 75 tons of earth and concrete. Who knew 16 years of decomposing leaves could generate enough soil to start a small country? Of course, this being only her second time behind the wheel of heavy machinery, Laura now considers herself an expert. "It's just like riding a bike," she claimed confidently, right before giving the fence a little nudge that definitely was not in the plans. And as for the dumper, a breeze, practically identical to driving her Vauxhall Corsa back in the 2000s, except this time there was no Missy Elliott CD blasting. A tragic oversight, if you ask me. Remember Gary and Brian, the goats Laura used to clear the jungle at the abandoned bungalow? Well, they did an outstanding job. 2 little legends who managed to strip the place of bramble and ivy within just 4 weeks. Naturally, Laura became attached. She spent countless hours scratching their bums and hosting lunch dates with her mischievous 4-legged colleagues. So, when their garden clearing contract came to an end, there was really only one thing Laura could do: take them home with her. Now, I'm sure her retired parents were already thrilled that she bought an abandoned property, moved in rent-free temporarily, and then turned up with livestock. So technically, Gary and Brian wasn't their birth names. They are now their forever names. Welcome home, boys. Somehow, these 2 chancers have even managed to score themselves an extension already. Despite Gary headbutting Laura's dad and both of them feasting on her mum's plum trees, yet here they are, living large on the all-inclusive bed and breakfast package. If this isn't a sign to never give up on your dreams, I don't know what is.